Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Wednesday's WIP Knockout, where we are going to chisel away at 3 crochet projects that you have looming around your home and you've been meaning to work on them, but never seem to find the time or motivation. And so that is what this live is for. It's actually a very structured live with a lot of purpose. So if you're here looking for just some chit chat, yes, I will be offering some chit chat as we are going through these sections where we're just focusing on one project at a time. But there is a lot of purpose here too. And so I want to make sure that I can get straight to that purpose as quickly as possible. So I'm thinking about 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, we're going to start with this timer I have over here. All right, so if you are brand new to my WIP Wednesday knockouts over here, the goal is to take 3 projects you have around your home, and it doesn't have to be crochet. It can be anything you're just trying to wrap up, whether that is maybe you're coloring, a coloring page, or maybe you're doing cross stitch or some other craft, or I've had some people on here that are doing chores or working on something, and this helps give them a very structured, designated time frame. During this live, we're going to have 3 20-minute blocks of time, and that's why I have my iPad over here. There's a timer, and during each block of time, you're only allowed to focus. We're tunnel visioning on one project at a time. So session 1, we're going to have our first project, only working on that project, and the idea is just giving a project 20 minutes a week. It's like nothing. We literally will scroll on our phones for 20 minutes and not even blink an eye. So it's not taking away any time, massive amounts of time where we feel like, oh my gosh, I had to give this up so that I could do that. But we're still making forward progress in the project, chiseling away at it bit by bit. And pretty soon, the WIP that we've been staring at for years or months or even weeks is now completed, and we feel like we didn't even really give it much time, but it's done now, and we can let that project go on to its next part of its journey, whether we are gifting it to somebody, donating it, or just using it. If it's like a home item, we're able to get this item off of our project shelf and now either clear space in our craft area so that we can minimize, or we can make room for new yarn, new projects, new inspiration. So that the whole purpose of this whole live every Wednesday is to try to clear out projects so that way they're not cluttering our brain, they're not cluttering our space, and we can keep moving forward. The idea is that we'll have one 20-minute section, then a 5-minute transition where you can wrap up, maybe finish a row, or just kind of like wrap up what you're doing with project number 1, fold it up, put it away nice and neatly, find project number 2, get it prepped and ready. So that way, as soon as the second 20-minute session begins, you can instantly start. And then we'll have our second 20-minute session, and then between session 2 and 3, we're going to stretch, because doing 40 minutes of solid crocheting, we need to give our body a break. We're going to focus on our body health. So between session 2 and 3, we're going to do some stretches together. I will lead them, but feel free to do it. If you have your own stretches that you really enjoy, do whatever works best for you. I have a couple new ones. I try to bring a couple new stretches with me every week just to shake it up so it's not the exact same thing over and over again. And then we will do our 3rd session, and that's it. I'm not going to drag this on too long. I already have my projects picked out. If you could please share with me the 3 projects that you're working on. I would love to engage with you in the chat. I will be referring to the chat multiple times to help give me some context to keep me talking. This is a lot of time to talk for somebody who's introverted and doesn't always have a lot to talk about. I also have some talking point notes to help aid me as well. So I will be referring to the chat, looking at the chat a lot. Got less than 1 minute. Oh, 2:05. I'm going to go ahead and get started right now, guys. I want to try to make these things faster so that way the replays or anyone coming to watch these can get good value out of them, and we get started right away. So grab your first project number 1. If you're still looking, that's fine. Got 20 minutes on the clock, and the countdown has begun. Session number 1 has started. I'm going to keep that back here within view of us, and I will give us reference throughout, letting you know how much time is left in session 1. All right. So while you all are busy working away, getting started on your first project you're chiseling away at, I want to say hello to Samantha, to Fran, to Julie. Oh, Sunita, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. All right. Gonna read through the chat real quick. Want to make sure that I am caught up. Julie is watching with your granddaughter. Oh, well, hello, Braylon. Welcome. I hope that's how it's pronounced. I'm sure Julie will let me know tonight in our crafters gathering. She's trying to learn how to crochet. Oh, welcome. Mary. Hello, Mary. I'm so glad to see you here. Welcome. And then Sunita says she's working on 2 corner-to-corner blankets for donations. Awesome. A simple stitch, Tunisian blanket. I've gotten really into Tunisian. Just beginning. I'm still new to Tunisian, but it's so refreshing to try something different in the craft that I love so much. It's so much fun. For your mother-in-law, you're making a Tunisian blanket and an overlay mosaic blanket for yourself. That's 4 blankets. I mean, I love it. You have some exciting projects. I'm very excited to see like 2 corner to corner, a Tunisian and an overlay mosaic. That's going to engage your brain and keep you so into the project. But I appreciate the fact that you got multiple things going on, because I could see how just working on one of these, and that's all you're working on, could be a lot and become either draining or boring after a while. And so being able to swap out the projects will keep you mentally engaged and motivated to completing the projects. They all sound amazing. Hello, Annie. Hello. Mary, you said, I'm still trying to find the Tiffany t-shirt. You are? All right. Give me more information behind the scenes, love. And we'll get that figured out. Happy Wednesday, all working on your squares during your lunch break. Nice. That's one great thing about lunch breaks is you can bust out the crochet. All right. So the projects that I'm going to be working on today, I actually got a lot, and I feel like there's some that are more. I'm going to probably work on these 2 first. First one is I have the back of a cardigan that I've got to finish because I'm meeting up with this person tomorrow, and I need to have that done. So I'm going to be working on this cardigan during one of our sessions and probably throughout the day too, just to make sure that's done. The next thing I'm doing is working on the color pooling scarf some more, a project you guys have seen me talk about multiple times here. I'm just still trying to chisel away. I'm getting closer and closer, but it's ever a project. And then third project that I think I'm going to work on today, I'll probably doesn't want to stand. I'll probably keep it simple. I might change my mind. It's between 2 things. I'm making the collar to this Noro top that I've made. I joined the 2 sides together, and it's the broomstick Noro top. I am working on the collar right now, and then I'll clean it up. Still, it's new design, so I wanted to make it first and figure out how I feel about it before I went and I made it a tutorial or went crazy about pattern making on it. I really wanted to just make it and feel it out first. And I might either work on the collar for that, or I have this beautiful yarn that I have caked up, and I want to make a top for myself because I'm trying to make clothes for myself. I just need a bunch of new tops. And I'll talk about that. If I do this one, I'll talk more about that in that third session. All right, for session number 1, I'll pull this out. I figured that I would also, on top of working on my WIPs, I would share some other stuff because I'm also really focused on you just working. So you work, you listen, you focus on your projects. Let me know if you have anything you would like to chit chat about in the comments, and I will definitely feed off of that, work off of that, responding. Fran, right now I am just finishing a scarf. Nice. You're cleaning up yarn that needs to be labeled. I like it. Luckily, the corner blankets are small. Oh, good. Okay, so they're not going to be like heavy investors. Thank you, Fran. I love Noro yarn. Mary, Miss Gabalot, she got me hooked on it, and I'm one of those people where earth tones have always, and I think they always and ever will be my thing. And earth tones just being anything that you would find naturally in nature. So yes, the gray scale, the brown scale and the gray scale, but nature obviously also has a lot of color with the greens and the reds and the blues. So anything that I just love deep saturated, moody colors. So I want to play more with colors. And Noro does that. Noro yarn just has this incredible way with colors. Seeing how they create their yarn, they do a lot by hand, and it's family owned. They'll dye the yarn or the fiber. They'll dye the fiber, and then they'll take like this strip of this color and be twist, making the yarn. And I think I'll pick this color, bring it in, twist, make the yarn. And then this color, twist. And you can really see that happening. Like in the skein, how you can see how someone started with one color and they're just twisting by hand. They might with their production and how much they have to make. I'm sure there's some machines involved, but they actually show how they do this by hand as well. But it's just beautiful how sometimes there's rhyme and reason depending on the yarn, and sometimes it looks like, oh, they just grabbed that color. Oh, they just grabbed that color, and it always looks good. It always looks so good. So if you're also somebody that struggles with color combinations, it can be a lot of fun trying yarn that's variegated. Already has those in there for you. Yes, you do have to do it. I think you'll have a lot of fun. Thank you for the update, Mary. You visited Co in the hospital this morning. She may come home tomorrow. Oh, good. Yeah, obviously potassium levels come up before that makes sense. They want to make sure that she'll be successful when she comes home. I'm grateful for that. I'd rather be, a little over safe than just trying to clear a room, make room for another patient, So that's awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing her. All right. Other talking points. Guys, if you are making my sampler blanket, my 2024 sampler blanket crochet along project that I have going on over on my main channel right now, I finally wrapped it up. That project is complete. The videos themselves are still in like the editing, the rough cut process, but I can finally say that the videos, like everything that was pressing is finally completed, and the blanket looks so good. Do I have it? I think I pulled it out. We have 10 minutes left in session number 1. Oh, nope, I have both of them over here. All right. I'll grab both of them. All right. So I have 2. So the first one I made so that way I could figure out what I was even doing, making the patterns, deciding what stitches, what I wanted to do, if it would even work before I presented it to you. So I have the one that I made as the example demo. And then the other identical twin I have over here is the one that I worked up as I was actually creating the video tutorials. And it's finally done. And I think, because I don't need 2, that I'll probably end up doing like a giveaway and giving one away. Just because, like I said, I don't need 2 of them. But it's done. It's finally done. Hi, Tammy. Welcome. That project I'm most grateful for completing, because it's been something that has been on my high priority list for months now, and it's nice to take that off of the plate and start being able to focus on other projects and other things that I want to bring to the channel. I also have other really big projects, big things that I need to give attention to. And with this blanket, mainly out of the way completed, I can designate my time and attention to other things, such as in September, I have been invited to be a speaker at the Crochet Blanket Summit. It's all going to be online. And they reached out to me because one of the spots that they wanted somebody to speak about is, the topic is crocheting blankets for charity. And at first I was like, do I want to commit to this? Do I want to take this on? I know I've been telling myself to practice saying the word no. It's so hard. It is so hard. And I was also thinking, I really want to be well connected with charities. I want to be a voice for crocheting for charity, someone that people can go to if they want to learn more information about crocheting for charity. And I was having, a conversation with myself where I'm like, okay, Tiffany, if you want to be somebody that people can reference or go to if they would like more information about crocheting for charity, then you kind of have to do this. And I was like, I know. So at least it's not like I'm having to create a project and bring it to this summit. I'm able to just speak about crocheting for charity, and I'm very excited about it. The only other thing that makes me a little nervous is my speech, or I can pre-record the video and edit it. Thank goodness. Thank goodness that I can do that. So if I mess up, oh, bye, thank you. All right. I will probably open the door so they can come in. When I can, like, if I mess up, I can just re-record or edit the video. I can polish it up and make it look really good. So thank goodness for that. But the speech has to be 20 to 25 minutes long. And I remember when I was at Pittsburgh's Creative Arts Festival, and I spoke. I did a public speaking speech on crocheting with a purpose. And I needed that speech to be about the same amount of time to speak it. And I practiced that speech for weeks, just trying to memorize it, trying to get it right. And if I can speak from my soul, if I can just like speak, I feel like I do better than having something scripted, trying to memorize something. And because I tried so hard and I wanted it to be so good, I wasn't. I wasn't so good. And so I almost feel like I need to be that person that has an outline, and it's okay if it's not necessarily flowy, pretty. If I did the same speech over and over again, eventually over time, I would have it memorized and just second nature, and I could just like speak it in my sleep, But for me, I think I just need a little more freedom and not be so incredibly scripted, which can be hard because I also repeat myself like a bazillion times, or I forget to mention something that I felt was very important because I know that people are watching, and so like I'm trying to be articulate and I'm trying to speak quickly and I'm trying to get to the point and stuff. But either way, needless to say, now that the sampler blanket project is the most stressful part of it is behind me, I can start working on the video for crocheting blankets for charity for this crochet blanket summit, which you'll find. I'll be sharing more information on that very soon. They're going to share with me specific links and advertising materials that I can share with people so that way they know where to go and what to do. There's other amazing speakers, like the chick from Make and Do crew is speaking on a topic. Moogly Tamara is speaking on a topic. There's a couple other people, big speakers I know that were going to be a part of it as well. So it's really cool, really special. And then also next month, which I don't have to prep for, but it's literally the exact same weekend. So I'm going to be doing my stuff for the blanket summit on Thursday. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the summit is still happening. It's still going on. But I'm double booked to also be at the DFW, Dallas Fort Worth Fiber Festival all 3 days. So it's going to be a busy September. I'm never not busy. It's all good. I'm not complaining. It's all awesome. It's just keeping it all straight. It's like all fun things that I'm an introvert too. So this can be make me very tired. All right. Now that we've got 1 minute and 30 seconds left of session number 1. And now I am going to kind of read through the chat, see what I missed. Oh, thank you so much, Fran. You said it came out beautifully. Gabalat, oh yeah, how's the soap working? Oh, that was another topic that I was going to talk about. I guess I will share that topic with session 2. Rose, welcome. Hi. You made it, just finished canning. Ooh, 8 quarts of tomato sauce and 6 pints of corn. Oh, wow. That is a skill that I wish that I knew. That's just so special. Now to relax and crochet. Yes. Yes. I'll try to get as far as I can with this last minute. All right, there it is. It's going off. It's yelling at me. So now I'm going to turn on the 5-minute transition. Oopsie. There you go. 5-minute transition. So you have 5 minutes to finish whatever it is that you were doing. Just kind of wrap it up and put your current project away nice and neatly, and then pick up project number 2. See if I can get a little bit further here. While you're transitioning, if you already if you're ready to go early, please share with me in the chat, with all of us in the chat, what 3 projects you are working on today. Or if you're not crocheting, what else you're doing. I had one person that was struggling with the lack of losing Crojo, and they would come to these meetings and they would color. I thought that was great. Sometimes you just need a break. It's very healthy to take a break. All right, I think I'm just trying to finish this row real quick. I'm like sort of kind of playing crochet chicken with the clock. Just trying to, I'm almost done. I'm almost there. Just want to finish the row. And there we go, last stitch. Great. Oh, no. Go back. There we go. Okay. And then I'll put it away. The next project that I'm working on is the color pooling scarf. Oh my gosh, guys. So in the process of doing this color pooling scarf, I've thought of another fun pattern that I would love to play with this color pooling concept idea. And I have a total of 3 Hanks skeins of this yarn. And I think with this first skein hank, I'm going to actually make the project. The second one, I will do the tutorial demonstration. And then I will take that second tutorial demonstration one and I will deconstruct that and play with another idea that I think would be really pretty. And then I'll take the third hank and do the tutorial for that one. And then I do know one of them I'm going to have to make a beanie for. I want to make a beanie so I can have like a set going on. I think that would be important. People are very much about sets. So what I might do, I might make the beanie first and then do this other, because I would like to do like this scarf beanie set. And then I think with the third skein, I'll try the new pattern and maybe I'll just I'll play with it. I'll play with the new pattern. And then if it goes well, then I'll just show a demonstration on how to do it, or I'll work up the whole project with the one skein, like record and make at the same time simultaneously. I'm not super, I've done that multiple times and I always feel like that's when errors can happen. But if I can make it simple enough, and the project basic enough, I should be fine. Oh, I'm already starting project 2. I got 30 seconds. I gotta stop. All right. Oh, Fran, I love that. I do. I think that's so satisfying when you have a can and you open it and you hear the pop. It's very satisfying. All right, there's our 5 minutes. Go ahead and, I'm going to turn that off. Go back to 20 minutes. Go ahead and grab your second project. And let's go. Project number 2. Let me catch up here in the chat before I share with you some Happy Mail, which I don't share very often. Trying to teach Braylon how to make a chain. Oh, love it. I think the thing that I told my kids when I was trying to teach them or teaching them was the whole idea with crochet is pulling yarn through a loop. So it doesn't even have to be pretty. You can play with how you hold it in lots of different, the crochet hook, lots of different ways. Do whatever you can to just take a loop that's on your hook, get the yarn and pull the yarn through the loop, and then pull yarn through that loop, and then pull yarn through that loop. If you can get that concept, you're crocheting, you're doing it. Even if you have to use your fingers just to get comfortable with the process, it's not supposed to be hard or daunting. And don't worry about perfectionism. Just kind of play with the whole idea of pulling yarn through loops. Hopefully that makes it not so scary or daunting. Oh, Rose, I love that. You're going to be finishing up a wrap for your daughter's Afghan. Love. Yeah, I got what you meant, friend. Figured we were talking about canning. Okay, so I wanted to share some Happy Mail with you guys. And I don't generally share Happy Mail. And honestly, it's because I don't receive a whole lot. But lately, I've got 2 things that I would really love to share with you all that are extremely special. All right, the first thing, Gabbalot was talking about soap. And so I have 3 bars of this really fancy Zoom Bar Goat's Milk Soap in almond, and it smells really good. It is made by hand in small batches using the cold pressed method, super fatted and loaded with naturally occurring glycerin, free of detergents, animal tallow, and parabens, naturally sweet, and envelops body and mind in a melody of marzipan. So yes, I have noticed that my hands are more moisturized. I use this soap in the bathroom that's right next to my office. It's like a half bathroom, and I kind of consider it my bathroom. So, and I've been focusing a lot on using the soap, like lathering it and using it like a lotion soap. So generally I'm like, how fast can I get in and out of this bathroom? I'll wash my hands and just be like, quick. But using this soap, I know its purpose is for moisturization. And so I will take a moment and really lather the soap, and then I almost like treat it like a lotion, and I'll go and I'll like massage my hands with it. And I have noticed a difference. I'm like, wow, that stuff really works. And so thank you so much, Mary, for sending that my way. I know, Mary, you mentioned that you're like, I was watching your tutorial the other day, and your hands look like they need a little moisture love. And I'm like, now I have a complex. I'm like, okay. But I do appreciate it so much. Thank you. And then I just received a second Happy Mail from Tammy today. I just got it today, and it made me cry. But and she wanted to give this to me at the retreat, at the crochet retreat. She wanted to give this to me in person, but it didn't come in time, and so she shipped it to me directly. And oh, Tammy, you're here. I sent you an email. I don't know if you got it or not, but Tammy sent me a yarn bowl with an owl painted, hand painted. It is a ceramic bowl, and I love pottery. I love pottery, and the owl reminds me of my tattoo that I have on my forearm, and it's beautiful. And it's so special. It's so beautiful. And in a letter that Tammy wrote to me, she had talked about, I mentioned a while ago that I want to start a yarn bowl collection, just because I love yarn bowls, but not just any yarn bowl. I am somebody that really likes, I love pottery. I love wood, glass, like elements of nature. Anything that can attach me to nature, stone, rock, cement, I guess, kind of thing. Any of those things. I love it. And I have not actually officially started my yarn bowl collection. I have one, it's wood, and it's a cat. I have another one, but I broke it. my kids got me a small ceramic bowl with a lid, but I think I pulled the yarn too tight and the lid came off and it broke. I was like, oh, but, and it's really small, so not a lot of yarn can fit in it, but this is going to be the first official yarn bowl of my yarn collection, and I'm so thrilled. So Tammy, thank you so much. I love it. I love it so much. And so those are the Happy Mails that I wanted to share with you. I would say that these things were for my birthday because my birthday is coming up, but they're not. They're just because you guys are awesome. Sunita, I agree. She says she loves it. All right. There we go. And where am I? There I am. What else did I want to chit chat about? I think the last thing that I had is so funny because I'm just starting on this on this second project, and I'm already on my last talking point that I wrote down. Hi, Heather. No worries. I'm so glad that you're here. You feel like Manic Monday today on a Wednesday? Totally get it. No worries. You are here. We are in session number 2. We have about 12 minutes left, a little less than 12 minutes. And we would love for you to hop on in. All right, so the last thing I have on the list to chat about is I have been trying to use this yarn for a while now. This is the Arcane Fiber Works yarn that I got a bit of, and this is in the color You Give Me Butterflies. I told them that I like deep, dark, moody, rich colors, and this was one of them. And to be honest, it's funny because they came in hanks and I caked them up. And when I caked them up, I'm like, wow, these look lighter in color than I anticipated. I was hoping for something darker, and I made a swatch. I was like, okay, well, I'm finally going to use this yarn. And I swatched it up, and the colors are deep and dark together. Like the swatch that I created was dark and beautiful and moody. I was like, perfect. But I did all this stuff. I filled out the card with all the information, like the dimensions, the swatch information. I swatched it all up, counted the number of stitches, the number of rows. I deconstructed the swatch to find out how much yarn was in there. And then I got all that way, and I started to begin the top, and I was like, no, I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not loving it. And then I started playing with another stitch briefly because I was just curious, and I fell in love with the new stitch that I started to just like tinker with. And I'm like, crap, that means I got to make a whole new swatch and find out all the information and start over. But I think it'll be worth it because I feel like this other pattern, I'll be much happier with wearing a top with this other pattern than the one that I started with. I'm grateful because by making the swatch, I didn't waste a ton of time to find out that I wasn't happy with it. Like after investing a few hours into the project. But I'm also like, man, I did all that work for naught. I'm not even going to use it. I'm not even going to do anything with it. And like, I guess that's just the nature of the process. But there's so many things. That's the other thing. Anybody in the same boat as me when it comes to just, there's so much I want to make. There's so many projects I want to do. I'm just like, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. That's why we're here, Tiffany. That's why we're trying to knock these whips out so that way we can do them all. Oh, Heather, you say, I want to attempt wearables. You live in Florida, aka hot and humid weather. I have a couple people here in the chat that know exactly what you're talking about. But having difficulty finding modest patterns for summer, spring, lightweight clothing. Ooh, I would love for you to elaborate on that. Pretty please. Modest. Are you just saying you want something with a little more coverage? Because I know I've been seeing a lot of projects that have, they're more so bathing suit covers than they are tops, even though like my Tiffany top can be worn as a bathing suit cover because I've done it. But I've also worn it more as a normal top where I just throw a tank top underneath it, a cami underneath it, and I love it. I wear that all the time. And that airy mesh netting type style crochet stitch makes it feel more airy and easier to wear when it's hot outside. But I'm wondering if you're talking about just needing something with a little more coverage crochet style for spring or summer. Or the patterns are very lacy, holy. So how do you line them with mini sewing skills, no sewing machine? Generally, you'll just join it together with just a crochet stitch or with a yarn needle. You don't even use a machine. In fact, you shouldn't need to use a machine. And actually, I released a tutorial recently called the My First T-shirt. And I created it because there were a couple of people that I knew that wanted to make a wearable. They wanted to make a top, but they just did not have the confidence in themselves to be able to do it. And I wanted to create something super simple that could give them the confidence to give it a try, get their toe in the water, and give them a little bit of confidence to jump into the wearables category. And they did a great job. And that shirt, the My First T-shirt, is more of a full coverage type top. And I have sizes from extra small to 5XL, though I did not get it pattern tested. So the math should be accurate, but I would love to hear from people that actually make the larger sizes, how it feels, how it fits, what they think of it. But I also wear that top often. And I would love, I want to make more tops because I would like more clothes in my wardrobe, to be honest, to be frank. And two, there's so many different ways to make tops. And a lot of them, they don't have to be complicated. It's just, I've noticed when it comes to tops that they take time to make. And it's essentially, depending on the size of the top you're making, especially, it's essentially like making a blanket. So to give yourself grace with that and understand that it's most likely not going to happen quickly. It's going to take a little bit of time. Three minutes and 30 seconds. Yeah, you're always giving what you make. I know. You need to make yourself something special, Mary. You absolutely deserve it. If only we could make clothing quicker. For sure, Tammy. There are so many great projects out there. There are. And honestly, sometimes I would love to just make what somebody else created. I'll be like, it looks so good. But there's also a lot of something else I really enjoy is taking somebody else's pattern and just finding its skeleton, like how they construct it, and then just changing up the stitch or the yarn fiber or the color. That's one thing I have a hard time with is I'll see something and I'll deconstruct it in my mind. Anybody else, when you see something that's been crocheted and you look at it and you're like, I could make that. Why buy it? I could make that. Now, will you actually make it? But just the idea of looking at something and you're like, I could make that. Or something I do is I'll look at something and not just say I could make that, but I'll say, how could I change that? And that's what I end up telling or doing in my head without, like, it's subconscious. I don't even make the actual conscious effort of, oh, I see that. I wonder how I could make it different. No, my brain just instantly like goes there. How can I make that different? Also, the fiber of the yarn will make a big difference. Bamboo yarn is amazing for hot, warm weather. And it's amazing for humid climates because bamboo is temperature regulating. So you won't get, It won't make you overly warm when you're wearing it. It actually kind of cools you down, and it deflects moisture. So it just feels more comfortable to wear. If you wanted to give bamboo a try. Mm. 30 seconds. Just a reminder, after this session, we are going to do a stretch. Stretch our bodies. Oh, I'm just going to stop there. And the timer is going off. Go ahead and find that stopping spot. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set that 5-minute. I'm going to set a 5-minute transition. Probably won't use the whole 5 minutes, but at least I want to use this like a good amount. Just wrap up whatever row you're on. Finish up that second project, clean it up, fold it up, put it away nice and neatly. Last thing that I want is for anybody to feel rushed and feel like they have to like throw things around so that way they can get to the next thing. Okay. Oh, you want to know why, Mary? I think the reason why crocheting makes you so sleepy is because you're so go, go, go. And crochet makes you have to stop. And it makes you have to focus on something. And when you stop and you have to focus, all of a sudden your high, intense adrenaline slows down and you fall asleep. I think that's what happens. Where did you get the giant crochet hook? Oh, you noticed that. Oh, this side, this way. Oh. So my old neighbor, I only moved from one town to another, so I didn't move far away from my last house. And my old neighbor, he was a 3rd-generation carpenter that has a whole workshop, loves to work with wood. And he's made multiple projects for my family. Different types of projects. And I saw a crochet hook, not exactly this, but I saw a giant crochet hook on Pinterest, I think it was. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's glorious. So for my crochet retreat, I wanted to have something there that people would want to take a picture with, because if people can take pictures or want to take pictures with something and share it, then it just gets it's good marketing. It gets the word out about the retreat and shows people some cool things. And he made it for me. It's solid wood and it is heavy. And he was having a hard time with, I showed him a standard crochet hook example, and he was having a hard time with the throat of the crochet hook because it was rounded, and he's like, I'm trying to get this right, but I'm having trouble. And I was like, well, why don't we just make it a tapered crochet hook where it has that sharp edge? And he's like, oh, that helps so much. And I just made his job like so much easier. And then he put my logo on it for me as well, and then covered the whole thing in a sealer. And yeah, he's actually looking for projects. So if anyone here would like to get a giant crochet hook, he is more than happy to make another one, because now he knows how to do it, so he'll be so much faster. He's also flirted with the idea of making giant knitting needles, and I was like, oh, there's a lot of cool things that we could do, a lot of different cool things I could utilize his talents with. All right, so 1 minute, 20 seconds. Hopefully you have wrapped up project number 2. It's nice and neatly put away. While we're waiting for this last minute and everyone else, let's just go ahead and stand. I mean, that's going to be huge. So I'm going to lift my camera so that way you can see my face. I'll move my chair out of the way. That's just a nice way of saying I'm hyper. Hey, you're welcome. All right, 45 seconds. I'm just going to cancel. I canceled the timer, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So, Mary, if you're feeling sleepy, maybe this will help also just kind of like get your body moving, because we just sat for 40 minutes, and it's common practice. We should as crocheters stretch our body or stand or get up every so often. They say about every 40 minutes. It's right around there. 40 minutes to an hour and a half. I know that's like double the time, but basically don't stay in the same spot for too long, because it just does not so great things for your body. So we're going to do some stretches. I like to start from the top of the body and work our way down. So I start with the neck, then I go shoulders, forearms, wrists, and sometimes hands, and then come back to chest and lower back. I don't always hit every single group. We don't need to hit every single group every single time, but I like to give you lots of options just in case you would like to give one a try, or some you like one you might like better than another. And if you don't like any of the stretches that I'm using, or your body physically can't do the stretches that I'm showing, feel free to substitute something else in. I'm not a doctor, and I do not want you to do anything that's going to make you uncomfortable or feel pain. So again, I'm just making some suggestions, and if you would like to make alterations, by all means, go for it. So we're going to start with the neck, and I have a fun new one. So let's go ahead and take our left arm and just kind of put it behind our back. Left arm behind our back. Then take our right hand onto our head and gently move our head to the side. And count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This stretch is supposed to hit your trapezoid, or right here along your neck. So a lot of this it's supposed to hit. Let's do the other side. So right hand behind our backs. Take our left hand on our head and other side. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? If you can't get your hand behind your back, then simply just putting it on your shoulder or dropping it to your side. We just want to make that shoulder go down or away from our neck as much as possible. Okay, so our neck is done. If you felt that and you loved that, feel free to do more of that after the session. Next, we're going to do our shoulders. I'm going to take both hands. I'm going to swoop them in front of me. This shirt. Swoop them in front of me, come up, and then I'm going to come elbows to the back. Like I'm trying to pinch something between my shoulder blades. My elbows to the back. And that opens up your chest area. So again, swoop and down. There we go. Oh, it feels so good. Swoop and down. Do a total of 5. Swoop down. 4. One more. Swoop down. Probably do that a little bit bigger, but my shirt's giving me issues today. I was not thinking about that when I planned that stretch. All right. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Let's now go ahead and do our forearms / wrists. So this one was really cool. So we're going to do like a praying motion, but then we're going to so go ahead, take your hands, put them together in front of your face, but then start lowering your hands down, and you'll start to feel it. All of a sudden, you'll start feeling it all in the bottom of your arm and in your wrists. So again, just keep your body straight. Just bring those hands down as much as you can and let that stretch ride for about 10 seconds. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? Let's do some wrist rolls. Let's do 10 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hopefully by doing those, we'll now get to the other side of our wrist and not just the bottom, but also the top. Okay. I'm not going to do fingers today. If you like to do fingers, go ahead and do fingers, but I'm going to go straight to lower back. With lower back, okay, we're going to go ahead and bring our hands up like that. Just bring your hands up, put your legs together, and bend to one side. And you'll feel it all in this side. It stretches your side and your lower back. Go as far as you can and just sit there for a second. If you want to, you can move forward, move back, twist this way, twist that way. Get yourself in a position where you start to really feel a good stretch. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My counts might be off. We're fine. Do the other side. So hands up and lean to the other side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Oh, that felt good. All right. All right. How did it go? Did you like it? Do you like one of those more than another? Again, when it comes to stretching, it doesn't matter how long you stretch. It can be like short, like what we just did. It can be really long. Just like feel your body, love your body. Give it that good stretch. It's important that you stand and don't just sit in your seat, because we've just sat in one position for 40 minutes at least, and our bodies just crave getting out of that one position and just balance, giving our body some balance. Stop being in one position, kind of go the opposite direction with where we were, giving our body a break, and then we can sit back down and we can keep going. And I'll bring my camera back down. So there we go. All right. So project number 3, go ahead and pick that up. If you liked those stretches, feel free to continue on with them or do them again later. Again, every one of these lives, I try to do some kind of stretch, try to bring in something new if I can. So if you want to watch replays, they're available for you. Okay, 20 minutes. Here we go. Last session. So session 3 is our last 20 minutes together before we end this live. So like I mentioned, it's a very structured live where there's purpose. I think, do I want to start something new or do I want to continue something old? Start something new, continue something old. The struggle is real. I'm too drawn to starting something new. So I'm gonna play. I'm gonna tinker. I'm gonna make my second swatch. Make another swatch. I'll appreciate it. I'll appreciate it. I'll appreciate it. Continue. I know, Heather. She's calling me out. She's like, it's WIP Wednesday. You're supposed to be working on something old. I know. All right. You're right. All right. You're right. I'll put it away. Okay. I'll keep working on this color. I want to wrap this thing up anyway. Okay. But today, Wednesday, halfway through the week. Ooh. Anyone got any awesome plans? You do. I love it, Heather. Anyone got any fun plans this week? I am going to be meeting up with the Crochet Club peeps tonight. We're going to go over the fun topic of how to adjust a project, how to make adjustments to a project if you want to use a different yarn size, which will be very interesting. And then this week I am releasing another square tutorial for the sampler blanket, because the month of August, we're going to finish up all of the squares. That is the goal with August. And then September is going to be all about the borders and the joins and wrapping up the project. So by the end of September, this project will be done. What else? Do I got? Oh my gosh, my son is turning 14 next week. And for his birthday, I can totally tell my kids' love languages. They don't even have to take a test, and I know what their love language is. My son's love language has got to be quality time. Quality time. And he also loves, he'd also be a receiving gifts love language, because he's somebody that is very sentimental and he holds on to things. Like if we, he has saved birthday cards and Christmas cards for the last few years. And we'll ask him, like, you want to get rid of those? And he'll be like, no, I want to keep them. Like, oh, okay. So he's very sentimental. So I'd say quality time and gift giving is him. And for his birthday, he said all he really wants is to get a brand new video game that we can all play as a family. What did he say? It's like Mario Party something that we can all play as a family. And that he wanted all his favorite candies. And he wants money to save. And I'm like, well, I'm not giving you money to save. Like, you can earn that. but I'm like, so basically he just wants to have like a fun video game party of sorts. And I was like, that's pretty cool. It's pretty easy. I can do that. Plus I bought him something a really long time ago, and I've had it stashed in my office. Like, it's great when you have a bunch of yarn, you can hide stuff behind it. And I'm excited to finally give him that. My son is really into history. He loves history. And there is a YouTube channel called Country Balls, where basically it takes every country's flag and puts it in a sphere or round form. And then they will take these country balls and use them to tell history stories. And he thinks they're funny and he loves them. And there was a time where the YouTube, the channel person, he created actual stuffed animals for each one of these country balls. And he would release them 3 at a time. And they would only be available for that one release. And if you missed that release, then you missed getting your country ball. And so for a while, I was like watching him like a hawk, like I want to get him a bunch of these so he can collect them, make them collectibles. And he just adores them. So I have a group of 3 that I got a long time ago that I need to give to him. So I'm going to give him those for his birthday. My daughter's love language is 100% acts of service. Definitely acts of service. She is also what's the word? She loves to like cuddle and hug her friends, and so physical touch is something that I could see also being her love language, because she's always wanting to be like in contact with her friends, which makes sense. So I'd say those 2 things, acts of service and physical touch. So both of them are so vastly different. But it's funny how you can sometimes just see it, you don't even have to make them take the test. I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome. Oh, I've missed you. How are you feeling today, honey? I'm so glad that you're here. Sunita, you said, I have my quilt group meeting tomorrow morning and a sewing class tomorrow night. Look at you. Those sound like fun. Other than that, I'm just working, finishing WIPs. I love that you have groups and classes. Like, that's really cool. And Heather says, my sister's schoolhouse. Sounds interesting. YouTube history link. Drew Journal. I think it's Drew Durham. If you searched country balls and Drew, it'd probably pop up. Let me see if I can find it. Yep, Drew Durnall. There you are. Nope. Okay, and I copy his page, and I'm popping it right here in the chat. There you go. That's his channel if you'd like to take a peek. I'm sure there's videos in there that are like not age appropriate, but there are definitely it's a way of taking history and making it more interesting, especially to a kid's mind. Like, sure, there's a lot of dramatizations. Cool. Heather's gonna check it out. I haven't watched in a long time, but I was amused. There's YouTube, man, there's so many different channels and so many creative people. I mean, there's so much out there. Oh, I was going to ask. Oh, I bet, Co. Boredom is the worst part. 100%. Maybe you could look at some crochet books. Right, Sunita, I have a question for you. You were mentioning that you're working on 2 quarter blankets for charity. Let me go up there. Yeah, for donations. Where are you donating your blankets? There is a charity I just caught wind of. I really love to like crochet for a cause, crochet to help make the world a better place, crochet and donate stuff to to organizations and to people in need. And I just caught wind of a charity that's doing a drive right now called Boggy Creek Camp. The Crafty Floridian, I guess, talked about them. Also, Celtic Mandalith. Oh, no, not that. She's Got Yarn channel has talked about the Boggy Creek Camp blanket drive that is going on right now. Are you doing the Boggy Creek blanket? I just heard about it just recently, and so I don't know much about it. And I need to do some research because I heard someone just kind of gave me information, so I need to go get more information. But I heard that they're trying to achieve 2,025 blankets for the year 2025. Which, you get enough people, it's totally doable. Sunita says to Boggy Creek. Oh, you are? Okay, that's so funny that I mentioned that, and you are donating them to Boggy Creek. We're gathering donations. Yes, yeah, exactly. It's for kids with special needs. That's what I've heard. Juan the Yarn Addict talks about it often on his channel. Okay. That is a lot of blankets. Yes, it is. Okay. I think the more awareness, we can pump out there, the better the odds are that she can achieve, or that Boggy Creek can achieve this goal. And they don't have to be complicated, and they don't have to be massive. They're just a smallerish size. I know that there are dimensions. It's probably what you mentioned before, Sunita, the 40 by 50. Yeah, 40 by 50. You choose a really easy stitch, just fly and get to work. It's a good stash. I'd imagine it's a good stash buster project as well. If you have a bunch of yarn that you just don't know what to do with, and you just want to use it to clear it out. Gotcha. So it's an annual thing. Neat. It always amazes me how many different charities are out there that rely on and rely on and ask for crocheted or knitted donations. I mean, if there's ever a person who doesn't know what to do with themselves or lacks purpose, man, learning to crochet and then just making things for charity, you're going to be so locked in and good. Your purpose is going to be like very clear, and it's going to be very profound. And all of a sudden you're going to find yourself probably busier than you've ever found yourself. just doing what you love. I think that's the most beautiful part. You're doing what you love. That gives you peace of mind. It's good for your mental health. It's good for either distracting you or keeping you busy. It's getting you creative. It's allowing you to play with beautiful materials, beautiful yarn. And so there's so much good for your own soul. And then to know that you can take this thing that you made and donate it to somebody who really needs it and helps to make this world a better place. I mean, it's just, in my opinion, it's one of the most beautiful circles, like full circle type of deals that is out there in the world. Because it's nothing but positive, positive, positive for you, and then positive, positive for somebody else, which just full circle. Oh, thank you so much for sharing the dimensions. They're 35 by 40 wide and 40 to 50 yarn long. Wow. I'm gonna write that down. I'll probably go to the website and get even more info, like where to send them and stuff like that. Cool. Sunita says, my local quilt group makes pillowcases and head wraps for local charities. There's other things they do, but that's what you're collecting right now. Wow. See, that's also really neat, is the variety. The variety. We got 1 minute left of session 3. If you love to make a certain type of thing, there is most likely a charity that would benefit from that thing, whether it's shawls, beanies, scarves, blankets, baby blankets, adult blankets, mittens. Oh my gosh, so many different projects, stuffed animals. And then if you are just kind of losing your crojo on one thing and you're like, oh, gosh, I really would love to make something different, you can, and just find another charity that is seeking out something different, and you can keep with your purpose and just shake it up, which is awesome. There's also some charities that ask for different fibers of material. So if you want to play with a specific yarn, you can probably find a charity that'll accept it. And that's it. Session 3 of our WIP Wednesday Knockout is over. It's complete. That's it. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had fun. I hope that you enjoyed the conversation. I try. I try to be entertaining, and the idea of just having a structured 3-section time frame that you can really zero in, blinders on, just focus on one project to get it chiseled away and get further along with it, finishing it up. I hope it helps. I hope it does good things for you and that it works. I know that it has been doing great things for me. I just probably should be working on the same WIP every week that I can to actually make forward progress on the one project, but I have so many that I try to maybe bring different projects with me every week, so I have something new to show you. All of the major craziness that I have behind the scenes. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. It's awesome. I hope you enjoyed it. If you missed this the beginning of this live. There's going to be a replay coming out very soon. If you would like to check out previous weeks that we have made here, please go back and watch the replays. It's all about just giving you a structured time to focus on your work and hopefully something fun to listen to at the same time. I hope you have a great week. And I will see you guys next Wednesday for another WIP Wednesday Knockout. Bye, guys. And end stream.